dive into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us. From personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation. Good afternoon, Tea Talkers. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Friday, July 25th, 2025. Hi, sippers on YouTube. How's all of my YouTube sippers doing on this Friday afternoon? I hope everybody is safe, sound, and feeling good. Thank you for subscribing to Tanisha Talks Teas over on YouTube. We are growing and it's showing and it feels so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for following. Hi, Facebook sippers. We are live on Facebook on this Friday afternoon. Hi, all my Facebook followers. Thank you guys so much. The support is just amazingly wonderful. We thank you guys so very, very much for sipping tea over there. The numbers are looking great. The engagement, the comments, the shares, the likes, y'all run me up. I love it. I pour y'all up and y'all sip the tea with me, and it just is an amazing feeling. Thank you to all of my Facebook followers. Hi, Twitch. Hey, we are talking teas on Twitch. Hey, all my Twitch sippers. Thank you guys so very much. We love being on Twitch. It's cute. It's a vibe over there, okay? We're in talk shows and podcasts. And it's just a really cute little vibe over here. So we think we're going to stay around. We're going to hang around. Kick. We are kicking it on Kick. All my kickers that are sipping with Tanisha Talks Teas over on Kick. Thank you guys. Thank you so very much. Every day we rise and climb on Kick. It is a cute vibe. We love kicking it on Kick. So here we are. And we seem like we're going to be here to stay. Okay. So let's get right on into the topic. A couple Mondays ago on Basketball Wives, okay, our girl Jackie Christie. I've been watching Basketball Wives for over a decade, okay, since like the first season. I never miss a season of Basketball Wives. I really enjoy the vibe. I really enjoy the glow up. I really enjoy, for some of the girls, they can have a communion that can be pretty meaningful and relatable and teachable, right? So Jackie Christie just was one of the ones that I like. Okay. I like Jackie Christie. The show is to, showcase the relationship between women that happen to be either married to a basketball star or dating one or have had a baby with one, right? So even though it's called Wives, we get a whole cluster of different dynamics of women that have dealt with basketball stars on Basketball Wives. So with that being said, right, Jackie Christie started off on Basketball Wives from the very beginning. She's always been, I believe, on every single season. So you got to give it to Jackie Christie for her long run. Like, she's never, I don't believe, been kicked off Basketball Wives. She's just, to me, always been like one of my favorite ones. So not one of her proudest moments, however, occurred on the actual set of Basketball Wives. Now, we know that Jackie Christie has had some contention in her relationship with her daughters, okay? There has been times throughout the show where they showcased her life as a mother with her daughters, okay? I remember one season, I think Takari, one of her daughters, the girl that they said came out as Chris Webber's daughter. That was a rumor that was flying around. Everybody was saying it. However, I don't believe anything was ever proven to us, whether or not he was really the actual father of Jackie Christie and Doug Christie's daughter, Takari. Okay. But Takari was on the Basketball Wives show for a season, I know, and it was contentious, right? She continuously, just displayed to us that she didn't feel welcome, that she was shunned away, that she grew up with her grandmother. Jackie Christie really didn't feel like she met the actual or the persona of what a basketball wives lifestyle would look like, for one other reason or the other, like her being dark skinned. Jackie Christie is a darker skinned lady. However, Takari felt as her daughter, though, she was shunned because of her skin color, and that she favored the other children over her because the other children are more so Doug Christie's color. Okay. And that, she just didn't really feel accepted in the family. So there was tension on that season, and she went away. We never saw her again. I believe we saw Chantel here and there on the Basketball Wives, but this season she was introduced. She was introduced to the show as a former Basketball Wives, and then she was also, I believe, have had a baby by another, I believe, basketball star, and so she was welcomed into the girl group, of Basketball Wives. Of Basketball Wives. Okay. So let's take a little journey through this season with Jackie Christie and her daughter on Basketball Wives. Remember, when you come into the room, to like and subscribe. Also, hold those teacups up. I'm about to pour you up with some tea. So we're going to tap into Carlos King, with fair usage of it being on YouTube. Okay. And we got our fair use sign. Okay. Of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright owner, because it is shared on multiple platforms for fair use purposes. And thank you, Carlos King. Let's get into this.
Here we are. Yes, Carlos. What's happening?
I don't know. It's not acting right. Okay. So maybe we're not going to use Carlos King's clips. Let's look at something else. Jackie Christie and daughter Chantel and Takari, when they went for emotional therapy, Chantel is the lighter skinned daughter.
Question
Do
coming
you
in.
see the way that Chantel is even looking at her sister? It's with no regard to what she's even talking about. Okay, it's like she's very detached from the way that she's giving off, her response to her sister. It's like she would raise the children outside the house, that she raised the children inside the house with her and Doug. However, the daughters are alluding to maybe that wasn't the case, that maybe they lived outside of the house with their grandma. Okay, so that was a piece of understanding of where her daughters are coming from. Okay, Takari feels like she, just did not get the love that she felt that she deserved as Jackie Christie's daughter. Okay, so here's a little bit of her talking to Jason Lee.
Hi, my name is Takari Lee, and I'm here at Hollywood Unlocked. I just finished up my exclusive interview. You guys check that out. There's some information you're gonna want to hear.
So, she is now. This was 7 years ago. However, this is her on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee and them, talking about Jackie Christie as her mother and Doug Christie as her father. Let's listen to a little bit and see what she's talking about.
Time were you all at an event? Were you talking at all?
And that's what I try to get everybody to understand. That year, my mom and I had spoke in probably February. The last conversation, I don't remember it. I just know it was around that time. And then months passed, birthdays, anniversaries. I'm sending happy birthday, Doug, happy birthday, Mom, happy anniversary. And I wasn't getting responses over like 4 months.
So why did she choose to? And I'm asking these questions because I don't know the answer. So people would say, "Oh, stop leading her to the edge." No, I really don't understand.
Right.
I had a really checkered past with my mom. My mom is deceased now, and I went through the whole loved her, hated her, forgave her. Now she's gone, and it's just life is what it is.
Right.
But what was it that stopped you guys from talking?
I don't know. And normal, when my mom would call me,
Because I thought I had seen something where you had said, or somebody had said it was because you were dark skinned.
that was put out there by my mom herself.
Okay.
And that was in 2011. In my book, some events happened, and I started becoming vocal on the internet at that point.
What events happened?
I was staying in a rental property of my mom, and just one day, I'd been there for like a year, and one day I'm cooking dinner, and there's a knock at the door, and it's all my aunts and their husbands, and they have tags, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to help you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Your mom said, "Come help you pack your stuff and move out the house. The bank is taking the house in the morning."
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm like, "What?" So I'm obviously.
Did you have kids at the time?
I had a 2-month-old baby. My second son was 2 months old.
Wow. And so you were being evicted by your mom and didn't know.
I didn't know, so I instantly get on the phone and, call the bank. The bank is coming to take the house at 8:00 in the morning. You have to leave tonight.
You didn't have a day.
I didn't nothing.
And
not
you
even
had no
hours.
plan of where to go.
Nothing.
And you didn't have support from your parents.
No, nobody. My family was on her side because she's paying them.
So what ended up happening?
They ended up going into every room in the house, sweeping our stuff in this trash bag, throwing it in the back of this U-Haul. I went to a hotel that night, and I was there for about 2 weeks.
With how many kids at the time?
2.
Wow.
And so did she call you? Did you talk to her after that to say, what the fuck? What happened? Why didn't you tell me?
I was on the phone with her the whole time, begging her, this, "Okay, if you want me to leave, I'll leave tonight, but
Give me
can
some
I
time."
pack my stuff, like some dignity in this?" Or, and she's just like trying to soothe me through the process. And I just was like, whatever. I talked to her the whole time. I've never shut her out. Like, I've never "You did this to me, I'm done with you." Like,
See, where did the you were treated differently or she didn't like you because you were dark come from?
that came from her treating me differently is my thing. Her saying that I have an issue with the family because I'm dark skinned is her way of shutting everything that happened in 2011 in the media when I stopped talking. Of course, she's doing interviews. They're like, "So your daughter was saying what happened?" And her answer was, "Takari's always felt this way because she's darker and she's heavier."
Wow. So even with that being said, I was reading that another reason, one alleged reason that you guys have a hard time talking is because of your speech impediment. Now, did that come from birth or did you develop that? Because it says that you're 70% deaf in one ear, 30% deaf in the other ear.
Right.
How did that come about? Were you born with that or was that something triggered from
I was
stress?
born with it. My grandma had hearing problems too. And like I said, I was with her. So they didn't diagnose me until the end of first grade. So I redid first grade because the whole year I pretty much did not know what was going on. I'm in the class with all this stuff. I needed specialized hearing aids and stuff like
And
that.
they didn't know you needed that?
They didn't know. When my grandma found out, that's when my mom did get it handled for me or whatnot. But as far as the appointments and getting everything taken care of and can tell you what's going on, my grandma would have to do that.
How was that growing up with that, with the speech impediment?
It was hard. I'm just now comfortable speaking within the last maybe year or so. It's something I can't change, and I just had to accept it. You know, it makes me feel very different, but at the same time, it's me. You know.
So are you able to, like, because I don't know the different levels of someone being deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between, like, can you read lips? Do you know sign language?
Yes, I
So
think
you know somebody trying to talk.
Not sign language.
With every other struggle in a nigga's life, we figured the shit out. You know?
We figured I definitely am a lip reader. I don't do sign language. But
Listen, I was just in the Dominican Republic and I was fucking around with a little Venezuelan that didn't speak English. We figured it all out real easily.
it happened.
Application.
When maybe a lawyer, my brother was there for me and my uncle, a couple of my cousins, but I never.
So did Jackie ever call?
Jackie called the first time I spoke to my mom was December 10th of 2016.
So she never sent a gift basket, a teddy bear, a flowers.
She didn't send a text like, ha, 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 look what happened to you, like nothing. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't worth anything. And that's why I don't think people understand the past is the past. I'm not dwelling over that. You know, I know I was treated different, and I know that my mom feels a different way about me than her other kids. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Wow. The new modern day stuff, that really makes me question, like, my kids haven't done anything. You know, they deserve to be loved or whatnot. So when she didn't reach out, that said a lot to me.
So when I was a kid, my mother, she raised us to I was about 7. My sister was about 4. Maybe I was 8. My sister was 5. But anyway, she started to use drugs and got into drugs really heavy in prostitution, and she just couldn't take care of kids anymore.
Right.
So she put me in foster care, and she put my sister with her father. Mm-hmm. So I didn't go to my family. I went to foster care. So I understand the dynamic of, okay, you're going to take this one, but then you're going to give this one up. So I get that. And I also understand forgetting that, like, okay, that happened.
Right.
We adults now. We grown.
Right.
What do you think, if you had to guess, the thing was that caused the separation from you and your mom to be where it was from an earlier age? Because it doesn't seem like anything happened unless, did she have animosity towards your dad? Did she have issues with, what was the issue?
It would have to be something like that. There's not one single incident I can sit there and say.
You weren't burning her house up. You weren't, stabbing her boyfriends.
I wasn't doing it. I was minding my business being a kid, and then after a while, I was so used to being with grandma, I didn't want to go. When she came, like, I was attached to my grandma to the point where I couldn't even go to daycare. They kicked me out of daycare because I would scream and cry until I throw up, and she'd come and get me.
So with all this stuff that's been happening at this point, up until this point, what age did the depression kick in? Because there's a show right now is Willow, Jada, and her mother, her grandmother, and Willow goes into Red Table Talk, and she goes into talk about how she was in a point in her life where she was in this dark hole, and she started cutting herself. Mm-hmm. So I see that you started cutting yourself. What age did all this start transpiring?
Around 11 or 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even younger than Willow. What?
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I didn't want to wake up in the morning. Like, I'm not lying, And when I did, I was trying to find a place to go hide. Mm-hmm. I just didn't want to be seen because it just seemed like it was always going to be something.
So these suicide letters, are these letters that you still have?
No, I don't still have them anymore. And I
would have been great to publish your book.
Right. It would have, but I don't have them. I just remember the first one I wrote really in detail, because it was really strong feelings I had.
Yeah. What did you say?
The most important thing I remember about it was that the last part is my very last breath. I'm leaving it for my grandmother. Like, the time I was here, you're the only part of it that I experienced and enjoyed. Wow. I appreciate you for loving me.
And when you wrote that, was the intention to kill yourself?
Yes, it was. I was done. Mm-hmm. I just.
So what happened?
Wait, before you do that, let me ask a question. Did you know what love felt like from a parent or a parent figure as a kid?
Grandma. Okay. Yes, from my grandma. Like, even today as an adult, besides my grandmother and my own children, I can't say that anybody's ever loved or cared about Kari. Mm-hmm. And that's just, I can't accept it, in a sense. Even if you do love me, I'm sorry, like, I don't know how to feel love. Like, I guess I don't know how to get it from you because I just can't explain it.
See, as a kid, I never really cared about my father loving me, but did you care about your mother loving you?
That's all I wanted. Like, I wanted her to accept me. I wanted her to be able to look at me, and I didn't have to feel like she's, picking me apart or like she's disgusted right now. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be accepted, comfortable and accepted.
And so I read in your book where you inserted one of the text messages, one of the many text messages that you've had with her, and it was like you were reaching out and reaching out and reaching out, and then she was like just shooting you down. And it reminded me of the way me and my mother used to talk to each other. What do you think was driving her anger and hostility towards you, and perception that you were trying to take advantage of her or somehow set her up to sue her or something like that?
Right. I was naive. I believed anything. So when I say, Mom, you wrote Chantel's book, you put an album out for her, you're working on Lil Dougie's book, and you wrote books, I want to do something too. I want to write a story about my life, you know. Do you want to help me? And you seen the response, it was, oh, that's extortion, and why do you want to slander the people that love you? And that's the fear is this book. I don't know that story. I'm telling you right now, I don't know.
And so what's that book?
This is Game Crazy, and it's by my brother Tyrone. That's my from my dad's side. His oldest son wrote the story about his life, and he was there before I was, you know, and how what my dad went through, how he got into the business once him and my mom met, how their business flourished, and what all happened is right there. You know, I don't know that story though, so I wouldn't have put it in my book.
So your baby's burned on the 20th of September. You don't hear from Jackie until December. So between there, shit's just on fire. The internet is going Hollywood Unlocked by this time. It's posting where everybody's posting it by this point. What from there? When did you start? Did you just say I'm going to take my voice back and start being vocal on social media, or did you reach out to the show and say I want to be in the show, or did the show reach out to you?
No, and
because some people would say, what I've seen online from her, you're just using this opportunity to be famous or to have a platform or to whatever.
Right.
What do you say to that?
Before that day when that stuff went viral, even when my son was burned, you know, it was a level of acceptance, and that's one situation. This is another. This one I'm living in, I got to take care of me and my kids. I'm going to focus on this. I wasn't worried or concerned. Like, I had a job. I was living my life. You know, my life is never, I'm not into material things. I'm different, and I get that. And that may be a little disconnect with me and my mom, too. But that's not my goal, you know. I literally was thrown into all this.
And did the show reach out to you?
Never.
So how did you get into the show?
So when my book got on the show, Evelyn Lozada, after she donated the money, she did it the same day or within a day or so.
On the GoFundMe account.
Right. I messaged, and I was thanking everyone for their donations. Or when I went to her Instagram, I sent her a message thanking her, letting her know I appreciate it.
You didn't reach out to her?
To Evelyn?
On Instagram.
I just wrote a message.
Meaning you didn't reach out to her and say, please donate to my GoFundMe?
Oh, no. I didn't reach to nobody.
She
not
did that on
one
her own?
person. Exactly.
How much did she donate?
$3,500, I
Okay,
believe.
that's nice.
I sent a message the day she sent the money. She didn't get it maybe 3 months later or something, when she finally responded.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I just got this or whatever, and, you know, you're welcome, and, you know, whatnot. I've never spoken to Evelyn on the phone. When they reached out or when the show wanted something from me, they would use Evelyn. See if she'll give you the manuscript to her book or whatnot. And I'm okay with that. I'm about to give it to the world. You know, I'm not trying to single out Jackie or, you know, have you have ammunition on my mom, because that's not what my book is about. You know, the whole situation, though, when they come at you at, why did you donate $3,500? Like, you're wrong for doing that. Well, you could say, well, apparently it was needed. You know, here's the story right here. That's one of the main reasons I wanted my book out too. You know,
Did you feel like when the blogs picked it up and when Evelyn helped catapult your story a little bit more into the public eye, that it was like finally you had somebody championing you? Like you finally had somebody, you had somebody had your back.
That was close.
I told her that too. And I was like, Evelyn, I appreciate, you know, you throwing yourself in the fire like that. That means a lot for me.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely didn't have to do that.
Right, definitely. And even with all the backlash from my mom saying the bad stuff to other people, like, oh, you was just inserting yourself, I wanted to make sure she knew me and my family were appreciative, besides what, you know, they're not speaking for us. We appreciate what you did. Thank you very much. That was my goal. And that's how I communicate with them. It's not like, hey, girl, what's up? What is Jackie doing today? Like, tell me, you know, we don't communicate like that. She's a very supportive type of person.
Yeah. So what are your aspects on life now? Like, what's your outlook on life now? Like, you've been through this emotional roller coaster. You've been up and down, highs and lows. You've been through the dark. Now, where's your mindset now?
Living my best life. I just want to be happy. And nobody's going to provide that for me. I don't need certain relationships to do that. My kids and I are building wonderful relationships, and that's what I want, you know.
Do you feel like the relationship with you and your mother is what makes you and your children so close?
Yes, That's all I think about when I speak to my children. I just want to make sure, like, if I'm upset with you, I'm going to explain myself. Like, I don't want you to question your mother's love ever. Like, I would never want my kid to, no, I'm not even mad at, like, I'm disappointed or something, but this is why. And it's helped them. They're very mature because of it, but they're also boys. So I'm considering their feelings like everything I do. This is a man one day. So I want to be careful with him, So that's how I do my parenting with my kids.
Well, like I was saying, I was laying in bed watching Basketball Wives this season, and here, now Chantel went up to speak to Evelyn to try to get those two to talk again, and it looks like your mom is still mad that she helped you. And here you are back in the storyline. So I have two questions. One, why do you think your mother is holding on to the anger towards Evelyn for helping you? And two, what stops you from saying, you know what, bitch, fuck that. I'm going to take control because fuck that. I'm going to take control and I'm going to be out in this motherfucker. I'm going to be on Sunset Boulevard every motherfucking day with banners, with my 3 kids sitting on fucking lawn chairs and an ice box and a lemonade stand saying, my mom won't help me, so help us pay our rent. Buy some motherfucking lemon. Because honestly, like, I act out when I get betrayed.
And that was me before.
And mama, and I will say, and if Jackie was in the room, and I'm sure I'm going to get a call, and I'm sure she'll be up here, that I handled my relationship with my mother very differently. She was all types of bitches. She was all types of go fuck yourselves. It wasn't until she got sick that I realized I had to forgive her because that was for me. Right. I had to let that go. I made sure that, and I intentionally made sure that she suffered. Right. Because being,
she made you suffer.
Yeah, being rejected.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're young, you grow up with psychological fuckery. Right. From not understanding why your ass is supposed to love me. Now, all these other motherfuckers, they ain't gotta like me, but you supposed to.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So the first question is I forgot the first question. I just want to get to the second question. What prevents you from saying, no, why do you think your mom's, it's back in the story, like why she's still holding on to resentment with Evelyn? And then the second question is, what's preventing you from just going postal?
Definitely. The storyline is now what Basketball Wives is using to keep attention. Not a lot of people care about who Evelyn slept with anymore. They've got on, they know that. What else is Tammy? She's there, but she doesn't want to be there. It's so much going on. They only can fall back on this because it's real. It's the only real issue that they have going on this show. Now what they're doing, though, is turning it in for entertainment, and that's where my problem comes in. I didn't come out trying to say, I'm writing a book, and I'm all about my mom. Like I said, I was pushed out here, and I had no choice besides to get my side out. Because they're on TV talking about me, before I could.
They have a platform, you didn't.
Right. So I did what I had to do to make that happen. I can't tell you why she would still have a problem with Evelyn. If there's somebody else,
why does she have a problem with the fact that Evelyn helped you?
Because it brought to light everything I said. Everything I said.
Because you were a secret until then.
Of course.
Okay. And your story and your history was a secret.
And it highlighted the fact that she did not reach out. Like, why wouldn't you reach out for your grandchild? Even a phone call. Like, the money's not the problem. It was a way to get money, and we figured that out.
So I talked to Laura Govan yesterday because she was supposed to be the co-host today. She didn't make it, but because Melissa's out of town. But she was saying she didn't want to come unless you were okay with her being here. And I don't know the whole history. What was Laura's role in it? Because she had did she bring the story out, or how did that?
She spoke to my sister on season 2 or something.
Okay, right. And that's when her and Jackie fell out.
Right.
Because of that.
But they took that opportunity, and I'm not going to say that Laura was weaker than Evelyn or anything, but they pretty much attacked her. And she was like, and she let it go, which is understandable. I would too. If I'm trying to do something for somebody and it causes me harm, makes sense. So I think she just was like, I don't want to do that. It amazes me that my mom can say something and it just becomes apparent. Like, She gave that money Evelyn gave that money to GoFundMe to embarrass me or, to get in my family's problem. And that's all people think about now.
Because she doesn't see it as you really needed the support.
Exactly. When Laura went on that show, she attacked him. Why would you call my kids and use my kids against me? And she played the victim role, and everybody kind of looked at Laura like.
So when you were watching the show, what was your reaction to it?
I was shocked. My sister actually lived in the same apartment as me. Like, we lived a building away when she did that interview. And I didn't know. She didn't tell me until it aired. And she's like, Kari, tonight something's going to come on TV. I was shocked. I was happy because, it's the truth. And if anybody tells the truth, it's going to sound just like that. But most of the time, they don't tell the truth. They go and say what they want to say.
And so when you were watching it again, now my second question is, what prevented you from just
posting.
buying you a nice little camera and a light and just going and just doing a bitch you tried it blog every day? Bitch you tried it. Bitch you tried it. Bitch you tried it. Mm-hmm. What prevent? Because I think I might start a bitch you tried it blog. I just thought of that.
Right?
What prevented you from doing that?
I'm not angry at Jackie. I'm not like.
I was just about to ask you that.
I'm not angry at Jackie. I don't. What good would it do me to be mad at you? I'm 28 years old now. Okay?
You don't call her mom?
Sometimes, depending on how fast I'm talking. If it come out, then it comes out. But sometimes, it's just more comfortable to me to call her Jackie.
So, but do you think so you didn't do it because you're not mad, but I would go ahead and say that, it's a reflection of your character too, because if you really were a cold, mean person, and I wasn't even a cold, mean person, I was just hurt.
Right? Listen, and then delete real quick, because I get ready, especially when I watch that show, I be like, oh no. But I
watched you on your live, and I was gonna send you some pointers on, this is how you react when you're mad,
right?
because as much as people would say, because this is what used to bother me, people used to say, you know what, Jason, my brother who's dead now, in fact his birthday's today, what he used to say to me was, no matter what your mom did to you, that's still your mother. Or no matter what your mom did to you, you only got one of them.
That one right there.
But you know what? That doesn't make it easy to deal with.
I don't understand what people say. What did that mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a mother, but it was not the mother that birthed me. Mm-hmm. The motherly instincts and stuff that I have, I try to make my kids feel how my grandmother made me feel. Yeah. Like those are my goals, I don't get you only get one. I had one.
You even went in on your book where you said your mom capitalized off your grandmother's death and actually kept her from the rest of the family and used it for a storyline.
My grandmother escaped my mother while she was
can I just say, I'll just be honest, for the viewing audience, because I'm going to read the fucking book. For the viewing audience, I didn't get it until late last night, and I just got back from Canada, so I didn't have enough time to read it, because it's like 300-something pages. You wrote your ass off. But I am going to get into it. But you started the first couple pages, you start off pretty hard with some allegations and some stuff about how your mom isolated your grandmother, and you can explain what you said.
Yeah, definitely. My grandmother, you guys saw the season where she was supposed to be on there. My mom was not involved with my grandma's illness. She lived in her house, and my grandma felt like my mom was avoiding her.
Remember that episode?
Yeah, and in the episode, my grandma's not even awake. She was on so much morphine and all that stuff at the time. They're holding her up. My aunt and my brother's awake and alive, but grandma's just, it really was sickening. It didn't air till after grandma passed, so it was really hard to watch that.
So she was acting your grandmother's health condition for TV.
That's it. They called us and said grandma's not gonna make it probably through the night. She's in the hospital. We live in Washington. That's where the family's at.
And she was in a coma.
She was. I don't know they were just saying she had cancer, so they were
keeping her alive for the family to get there.
That's what they were telling us. So we all it's 3:00 in the morning. We hop in cars. Everybody's flying down there. At the time, I'm on the internet, so I'm posting on my Twitter what's going on. So my mom's like, "Don't drive car. I'll fly you down there." Because she's trying hard. She wants me to stop talking in the media at this point. I flew down here. I was here for maybe 2 days. My mom never showed up. Like she was filming her bachelorette party. You guys seen on that episode?
I was there. I may have been there. Okay.
That bachelorette party. Grandma was at the hospital. The whole family was down here, and we were in the hospital. We were camped out, blankets, kids. We took over the waiting area.
So why didn't she come and film that?
Because it wasn't. I don't know. You'd have to ask her and her producers, because they used what they wanted to. Mm-hmm. Then when my grandma waited, she had asked when they told my grandma this trip, this is it. You're probably not going to make it much longer. Leaving that hospital is, I want to go home. And home is Washington for us. Mm-hmm. My mom, no. And the whole family was there at this time, right? My mom says no, walks away. She comes back, and now the family's like, well, she's saying she wants to go home. My mom threw a fit, kicked everybody out of her house in the middle of the night. They all, we just came down here to see grandma. There's no hotels and stuff, so they came back home. Okay. It was crazy. She called me, and she's like, all this stuff is going on. Maybe a month later, my other cousins down there, my grandma said, "Is your mom here?" She had left to go do her filming, and my grandma said, "Pack my shit," just like that. My oxygen tank and a couple outfits, put it in my truck. Mind you, Doug helped them pack the car.
Doug seemed, I mean,
No, Doug.
and this isn't any shade towards your mom, but Doug seems like a really nice person.
Yeah.
Doug is a good person.
Did he ever try to defend you or ever try to tell her like, hey, like you need to reach out?
No, and I brought this issue to my mom clearly a bunch of times. There were discussions within the family. You know, they would sometimes turn heated, whatever, but we spoke about this. And she would call Doug in, you know, and sometimes I'd say, this is not me and Doug's issue, it's just me and you know, and his pointer was, you're a great mom. You know, he'd always supported his wife, which is fine. I don't care.
Because he loves her.
Right,
Yeah.
right, but that's not your mom. That's your wife.
Right.
You can't tell me how I feel about my mother, you know, so I'd always tell her there's no need to drag him into it, and she would always.
Did Jackie make it to your grandmother pass?
Yeah, she did end up passing away about a month after she made it up to Washington.
Did Jackie make it to the funeral?
She came 2 days before. She was mad. I'm going to say that. She was mad, and the way that my grandma's funeral and stuff was handled, you can tell she was mad at my grandma.
She was mad at your grandmother.
She was very upset at my grandma.
Wait, so she was mad at your grandmother for what?
For leaving. My grandma left. She dipped. She had been there since I was 9, like I said, and we had been there. She kept their household up. You know, she's the cook of the clean until she got sick and couldn't move no more. You know.
And so when you say you could tell by the funeral that she was mad, what do you mean?
She sent the money up to the funeral home, told us to go get everything set up. We went. They had like a pine box ready and some little stuff they had gathered. Maybe, I don't know, a couple $100 funeral, what they were telling us. And we're looking like, wait a minute, you know, we buried our aunts and it was luxury type stuff. It doesn't got to be that, but we're not putting our grandma, like, we're not the matriarch of our family. We're not going to disrespect her like that. We start on Twitter with all of us, all her grandkids. You know, my grandma's kids, they do their own thing. Her grandkids, though, we got common sense, and we knew we was not going to let our grandma go out like that. She had a best friend, and her best friend paid for my grandmother to have a decent coffin.
Jackie's best friend?
No, my grandmother's
Your grandmother's best friend, okay.
And her name is Alfreda, and she was up there. She came, my grandma went under the morphine maybe 3 days before she passed away. And so people would come in from far and near to try to visit and say bye. And when she did pass, like I said, we started trying to figure that stuff out, and we're looking like, we called her.
So you felt like Jackie was retaliating against your grandmother in how she was going to let her...
She wouldn't let her talk to my brother, and my grandma raised like how she did me. I was there, you know, me and my grandmother raised Douglas from the hospital. He came from the hospital to our room, you know. He never spent a night with my mom. Like, she never had to do that. We did that.
So what do you think are one of the biggest misperceptions of Jackie, good or bad, that the public has? And what do you think one of the biggest misconceptions of you that the public has?
Definitely. My mom is just not, she wants to be real, but she can't accept who she is. The past is the past. It made you who you are, you know?
So she wants to be real, but she can't accept reality.
She can't. And if the reality was to come out, she's going to deny it, you know? And that's why she was upset about my book.
Does she deny it in the sense that, because using the parallel again, I remember my mother struggling she had good years when I was a kid, you know, whatever. Santa Claus would come to the house, gifts would be provided. Then when she got into drugs, Santa Claus would come to the house, but then the gifts would be sold. And so she used to always say to me, even up to when she died, you know, I was a good mom. And I had to, you know, once I had forgiven her and I had let the anger
You saw
go,
that she was.
I said, you were a good mother, and then you were not.
Right.
That's your story.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of stuff she was saying in the forgiveness she was asking for as she was dying, I just had to give her that because she was dying and I knew she was dying. I was not going to sit there and stand over her bed and say, you're an evil bitch, blah, blah. I mean, I literally did forgive her by then.
Right.
But do you feel like your mother is in denial that she was not a good mother to you?
Yeah, I think she's in denial. And I don't say that you're not a good mother, because you're the mother to the ability that you were able to be it. Like my mom, she's not out there in the clubs and partying, and I've seen my cousins deal with that.
Wait, say that again. Your mother was a good mother, what?
She was a good mom, you know.
To her ability.
To her ability.
Best ability.
So when did you learn that? Because I didn't learn that till my mom died.
Then like you said, why do I not go crazy? Because in my mind, maybe she's hurting. Like, I don't want to hurt somebody. Like, I don't want nobody to feel pain just from the pain I felt. Like, don't feel pain.
How old are you?
28.
Let me ask you a question. Was your grandmother a great mom to Jackie?
Grandma kind of like had a checkered past, you know. They was growing up in the 70s and all that stuff. She had her issues and stuff. They went through the system. What I've heard is my mom's always been different. The different child.
But I'll play. Let me play the other side of that. My mother grew up sexually abused by her father and physically abused by her mother.
Jesus.
But she chose to be a good mother to one child.
Right.
You can't if you just don't know how to love.
You don't have babies.
It's just a thing.
That's where I come in with. Okay, it's just me. Like there's something about me that's not for you.
So do you have the closure yet that you need to understand? What do you need the closure for why you were treated differently than Chantel?
No, because I've accepted it, and for a long time I let her tell me I was crazy and thought maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am just making something. I know I'm not crazy. And I've accepted it. It is what it is. She never has to admit it. She don't ever have to speak to me. I'm good. I don't have any anger. I'm not mad. And this situation is what it is, more for her than it is for me.
I think one thing that you said, sorry, Gio, one thing that you said that's powerful that I hopefully people are listening that you said, because my mother used to say what you just said. She used to always say, I'm doing the best that I can. And as a 10-year-old in a group home, you don't understand what that means.
Right.
But later on, as I developed, I said, oh, when a person says I'm doing the best that I can, they're telling you my limitation is this. This is all I can do.
Right.
But I didn't realize that until 35. When did you come to terms with that?
When my son got hurt and she didn't reach out, that was a hard time because I needed her. I needed my mom. I've never felt that I needed somebody. I felt like I'm about to go crazy. I cannot believe this really happened. Every time I think about it, just the emotional roller coaster I was on. Just Carl, you're gonna be okay. Would have meant the world to me. But it just I wasn't worth that, and that's what sticks in my mind.
But you were worth it. But to the perception to you was to her you weren't worth it.
I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. My son getting hurt, going through the pain he went through wasn't enough for her. And then the fact that as his mother, the pain I was going through wasn't enough. That's where I'm at with it, When I was growing up, I was a fat girl. I was the black girl. I was, okay, I was that. I will never be that again. Like, you can't, if you say that to me now as an adult, I'm grown. So I'm going to take it as an adult,
Yeah, they said it to me on my Instagram.
Right.
I'm thick. Shit.
I'm just not even going to go, It's a matter of keeping the issue where the issue's at. And the issue with us now is, how do you really feel?
Gia, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that took, when you already answered the question, I forgot what I was going to say, but you already answered the question as far as sometimes I think it's pride as well. I mean, somebody can always know when they're wrong, and I do it with my daughter all the time. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I know it's times where I might grill her or say something I feel like I shouldn't say just in the heat of the moment, but my pride sometimes won't even allow me to say, I'm sorry.
I have those moments, but I refuse. I'm just not going to let them think, if I feel bad about it, I'm going to say something. If I do something that makes me feel bad afterward, I'm going to say something.
If your mother called you up tonight and said, Takari, I'm so sorry. I love you. I apologize for everything that I've put you through. Can we start over? Can you see yourself having an amicable mother-daughter relationship with her, clean slate?
I'm going to be the realest person I am. And I'm going to be the same person I am with everybody. So, yes. Now, whether that would be real at this point from my mother, I don't know. I would question it. I would. But, yes, Jackie has a daughter over here and grandkids that are more than willing to have her in our life. We're not on whatever it is, She said my book was a book of lies and stuff like that. I think she was in fear of what was going to be in the book.
Oh, absolutely.
What's the question I asked you? What's the perception of you that people have that may not be accurate?
That one that I'm still stuck in, just get over it. I'm over it. This is new to you guys. It's just coming about. I've lived this for 28 years. I'm in a level of acceptance you guys cannot even understand, okay? I don't live every day thinking man, I wish Jackie would call me or, what do I got to do? I got to cook, I got kids, I got, stuff I got to do. I'm living my life. So that people are like, oh, you need to get a job. And I have always worked and take care of myself. And my mom has not financially supported me at all. And I don't know why, she says those things or whatnot, but whatever. She does. That's not true. I take care of my family on my own. Me and the father take care of our kids. There's no one else
You have 3 boys. Is it the same father for all 3?
All 4 of my kids have
All
this.
4 of your kids. Okay, so let me say this to you. You know, fuck what people say. I mean, at the end of the day, you live your one life the best way you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave my mother peace when she left because I needed that for myself.
Right.
But I don't have a relationship with my father, and I'm not. You know, I think he's 70. You know, and I'm not pressed because
Right.
I got real shit I got to deal with every day.
I'm telling you.
So I would say that, you know, just my own advice to you is that you can find healing and comfort in your own journey without all the external acceptance
Exactly.
of your past from everybody, the public, your mom,
Yeah.
because all of that don't mean anything when your rent is due, and all that don't mean anything when your kids need to eat.
And let me tell you something. That's my focus. You know, with the show coming on this year, I think that's their focus. You know, we got to eat. What they want to hear or what we think is populating our show right now is this situation.
Oh wait, one more thing, advice though. Stop letting them tell your story on that show. Get on the show. And wait, hold on. And I'm not even saying for fame. Don't not get on the show because of what you think it'll
Right.
look like.
Right.
If if they talk about me on Love and Hip Hop, one episode, bitch, bring the cameras.
But that's a good
set up
producer. She know what she's doing. She's not gonna tell one side of the story to her fan and not get you on there. Like I see all them shows. I watch MTV and stuff. All them
Let me
shows.
say this: Shawnee O'Neal and Jackie Christie, don't do another episode or another season of the show without letting her come on and tell a story. Because the thing about reality TV, and this is why I left that show and went to Wild 'N Out, because reality means we gonna really sit in the room and we gonna really give it to you. Exactly. And I feel like, and I love Jackie to death. And Jackie, this is not personal. You know, I'm gonna call you after the show and say, by the way, heads up, Takari's gonna be on the show. But I want to see her vulnerable. I want to see her accepting the truth as hard as it's gonna be, not from a cast member that she can say you don't
Right,
know me, from a
right.
person created.
Right.
That's reality TV. That's gonna make me fall in love with Jackie if she can actually. I mean, I'm in love with Jackie, but fall in love with Jackie on the show if I can see the vulnerable side of her dealing with you. So I'm telling you, you need to fight, be your own best advocate. And don't hide in the shadow and say, "Oh, I can't do that because it's gonna make me look." No,
No,
you're talking about me.
I'm making it known that I will go on there and speak to my mother. And they've reached out this year. Not they. Evelyn reached out.
You
for
got
record.
Shawnee's number?
I don't have Shawnee's
I'll
number.
give it to you. And here's what you do. You have a book release party and you tell them come shoot. You want your mother at the book release party and you invite the show to come cover that.
I like that.
And listen, my better judgment kicked in. I'm not going to give you a number out, Shawnee, but I am going to text you because we need to hear the full story. And like I told you at the break, Shed Media is her partner. You can figure this out. But you were telling me something at break. What were you saying?
Definitely. So I have an attempt to try to get my side of the story on the show. I've had them reach out, or Evelyn reach out for records for the GoFundMe account.
Okay.
Somewhere down the line on the show, I think they're still talking about it.
Okay.
And she's confronted about it. So she's like, I need to know what day you started it and what day I actually donated.
Okay.
Evelyn, I'll gladly bring those records to you, but I will bring them to you. I'm not sending anything else, because I can't keep arguing through other people.
Right.
This is my son's GoFundMe. This is our situation. I can tell you guys everything.
And this
you need
is
to
your
know.
life.
Right. So she said, I'm going to hit up the producers and I'll see what I can do. And I never heard nothing back.
And so you were saying at break that when I said you should get on the show and tell your story, you said that you were told what?
First, I was told that my mom would not shoot with me. Then I was told that she would leave the show if I shot anything.
And this is coming from where?
The only person I've spoken with was Evelyn. So, if I find something out or if I'm trying to get information, Evelyn, I want to get on the show, or, well, your mom said you can't shoot.
Have you talked to Shawnee?
I've never spoken to Shawnee, and I don't speak to Evelyn on the phone. It's through messages, it's all in my DMs. So,
Paper trail.
yeah. So, Shawnee, nobody else has ever reached out, just Evelyn.
Have you ever talked to, is Tammy and your mom, do they get along on the show? I can't
I
remember.
think so. I'm not sure. Tammy's had a lot to say about the incident or the situation in her own interviews and whatnot, which is not fair.
What's her take on it?
They thought I was scamming people with the whole GoFundMe thing. And that's pretty much what she said. From what I know, it wasn't needed. And I don't know what she knows because my family started that GoFundMe page, meaning they are aware of the situation. If they thought, oh, her mom is going to help her, there's no need, This is the outside people that took care of that. It's known by everybody.
And so they were saying you were scamming because what?
I mean, you have proof that your son was burned. Like, it's physical proof.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Does he
she just
still
said
have-
I did this. My mom's on TMZ. The first thing I heard my mom say about this is on TMZ. After that went viral, the next day they caught her on walking at it somewhere. And she's like, if my daughter wanted some money, she could have just called. I
saw
sent her
that.
enough money where she should have been able to pay those bills, is what she said.
Was that true?
That's not true. And it was like a big slap in the face. You know, like, for one, why am I hearing your first response to your grandson
Through
being
TMZ.
burned on TMZ?
Was that the first response?
That's the first thing I ever heard about my mom's feelings toward this situation.
Wow.
Like, nobody else could tell. I talked to your mom and she said, you know, nothing. That was the first thing I heard.
Okay, so your book, Lights to Her Shadow. Why did you feel the need to write that book? And what are one of the revelations that will be shocking in the book that you should tell people?
One spoiler alert.
Oh, good. That's a good question. But the reason to write the book was, like I said, I have to tell my story. My story is bigger than just my mother, the reality TV show that people see. You know, I am a person too. I have a history and a life, you know, and I wasn't writing a book about my mom or her secrets and whatever, you know. I don't know that life. And I think that's what propelled her, for her anger towards me. And that's what you guys are seeing now. She was nervous. If she would have waited till the book came out, we probably wouldn't be this far into this. I'm not going to lie. The thought of a book, she's writing a book, everything's about to come out and it's going to be.
I was confused at how Chantel going over to build a bridge between Evelyn and your mom made your mom believe that she was now taking Chantel over to the other side. How do you think she came to that perception?
Just the way her mind works. She told my grandma I was building a cult of people against her. So that's just the way her mind works.
Are you addressing your mother as mom or Jackie or somebody else? Because I'm sure she didn't give you the legal right to use her name.
Well, she can use her name. She's
Yeah.
she's a public figure.
Oh, okay. Because when my daughter's mother wrote a book about me, she definitely didn't use my name.
Oh, I listen. When I wrote it, I tell everybody, don't put her name. Everybody know who my mom is.
Got
Just
you.
Mom.
So you don't say Jackie Christie.
No, and then most of the people in the book, I didn't put their full names on. Like, you know, my sister's name is like Shani or Shan or something. Like, I didn't put Chantel. You know.
Oh, so to put a person's full, because I'm getting ready to start writing.
My
my
name
book.
was Gabriel in my daughter's mother's book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So would she have to get your permission to use your name?
I think so.
Because I'm gonna put everybody's name in my shit. Fuck them, sue me. That's good promo shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I'm thinking of Superhead when she was talking about all the dick she was sucking.
That's what I always think back to. Like,
But did
that's-
she say exactly?
Yeah, she said it. Ray
That's
J
why
was
she was-
crying in the bed. She said all kinds of
That's
shit.
why she faced a lot of lawsuits.
Farnsworth Bentley was in bed with Diddy. I mean, not that was true. What up, Farnsworth? I'm just saying because that's the homie. I
It
don't-
was all
I
going
don't
down.
know. Okay, so now where do you go from here? So you're at peace for the most part of everything that happened. Now that you've told your story, you referenced earlier that there's going to be a second book. What's the next book going to reveal that the first book doesn't?
Definitely. The first book is going up to right before my epiphany in life, you know, and just understanding what I was going through. This next book is going to be about pretty much behind the season of Last Basketball Wives. All you guys seen what my stand was, you know, how I'm being approached, what I was going through, you know, all of what's really happening. Because you guys seen what was filmed and put on TV and what was said and whatnot, but there's a backstory, a whole story to it.
So I recently interviewed Khalees, and she shared with me that Nas used to beat her, and that she was
Allegedly.
a victim of. Well, this was her words. Allegedly beat her. She was a victim of domestic violence, and I asked her, "What made you decide to get your voice back today?" And she said, "I've lived in 9 years in silence, or edited, and today I said not today."
Right.
So what motivated you to get your voice and say, "You know what? This is it. I'm going to now speak my piece."
Definitely. I realize that you're standing on your own 2 feet. Your kids are gonna watch how you react to this situation. You know, I teach my kids, you stand up for yourself. I don't care who it is, stand up for yourself. My mom is discrediting me and saying things about me that is not. If she's just talking, my grandson got burned. I have a daughter named Takari. You know, okay, there's nothing I can say. But when you're putting lies out there, trying to make an image of me of a certain way, I don't have a choice besides to speak up. If I don't want to be those things, and I'm not those things, so I want to speak up.
So to young girls or boys who may be listening who've had the same experience where maybe if a parent has discarded them or hasn't given them the love and affection or acknowledgement that they even exist or that their story exists, what do you say to them to help them find their courage?
Be better, never bitter. Be better. Be better than what they think you are. Better than even what you think you can do. Just be better. Being bitter is gonna hold you back and make you exactly what they think.
Wow. That's something I need.
Wait,
to
say
live
your
by
line.
myself.
Just go on and say your line.
That was deep. I need to live by
Because
that.
I know you want. That's his line. I knew you wanted to say it, but it was deep. That was.
Yeah, be better, not bitter.
Yeah. Wow. Please.
And I would piggyback on that and saying, if you are bitter, give yourself some time to be bitter, because it's okay to be bitter.
It is okay to be bitter. Just
Sometimes.
don't let it take over your life.
Now that part.
Live, because when you do decide, okay, I am over this. You don't want your life to be gone. You want something to enjoy.
Amen.
Do you regret anything?
I don't regret anything. Listen, it's all life, and it all made me who I am today. Anything I can say I've been through, I'm sitting right here. So I went through it. I'm good.
Do you find yourself a better parent in spite of how you were parented?
Of course, I definitely do. I'm hands-on every minute I'm with my kid. My kids can hug me, they can touch me, they can talk to me. I didn't have that with my mother, but with my grandmother, I would, any normal situation.
Well, I would say to everybody listening, and you too, Jackie, the one thing Khalees said in our interview that was really powerful, and I mean, people have talked about this interview and her story, and I've seen the different sides of it all, is that no, matter of fact, it wasn't Khalees. I'm sorry. It was Jennifer Lewis. We had Jennifer Lewis here who was talking about depression. And she said, everybody who has a story, tell your story.
Yes.
And to just keep telling your story and tell everybody. And, the thing about your truth is that only you own it. So don't let nobody take it from you.
Yes.
Okay, so the book is called Lights to Her Shadow. And when is it out?
That book is out.
That book is
You
out.
can get it now.
Okay.
Stanton Publishing House, Angela Stanton. I love her.
I saw she wrote the foreword.
Yes, she came in and she helped me because she believed in me. She didn't want anything from me. She just wanted to help me get this story out.
Nice.
And that's all she's done in the whole time I've known her. So
Where can I get the book?
you can get it on Amazon, my website, takarilee.com. I believe you can go in Barnes & Noble. They will do a print on demand order for you.
Okay. Come on through. Print on demand.
Yeah.
So that was the interview that Takari did, okay, with Jason Lee Hollywood Unlocked several years ago, just showcasing her experience, right? She said a lot about how now, okay, 1 second, because mine is having a So as I said, okay, we heard a lot in just the unfolding of the story from Takari. Takari says that her grandmother raised them. They had 1 second because mine is in the background having a
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. So now we have anymore. That's why I've been quiet. I don't have any ill wishes toward you, but this ain't genuine, and you know that. You put this up for your followers and the blog so you can. I've healed and moved on from the family drama. However, if I'm asked to not speak on or about people, I expect the same respect. It's been almost 10 years, a lot of time and distance. So to speak on how I feel or what I went through, and I can't even say happy birthday to you is not going to fly. I know I'm the peasant or whatever, but please don't provoke me. But don't provoke me, please. So maybe Chantel did mention. I know Jackie ain't mentioned Takari. Maybe she did, but maybe Chantel has mentioned, or her name has been mentioned this season on Basketball Wives, and I just don't remember. Whatever the case is, she feels hit. Now for the therapists out there or the people who know, um, can you be healed and moved on from the family drama, but you're also down to the internet, you're hiding behind a wall, sending a subliminal message? You see what I'm saying? Are you really healed? There's nothing wrong with not being healed, you know, but is she really healed? Then she also posted this, and this was on her story. I'll start by saying thanks. Now, this is something that Chantel allegedly wrote. I'll start by saying thanks because it's a polite thing to do. But to be honest, you easily could have texted me this, accompanied by a personal apology for all the you've said and done, both publicly and privately. I'm not with the public shenanigans anymore. That's why I've been quiet. I don't have any ill wishes toward you, but this ain't genuine, and you know that. You put this up for your followers and the blog so you can carry this sad, sappy charade like nobody gives a F about you and don't want nothing to do with you, etc. I've been there for you and dare you to say otherwise. I stopped effing with you off the strength of you and your poor decisions. It has nothing to do with mom. We all know how I get down. If I wanted to speak, I would. But the same way you don't want to forge a fake relationship with her, I don't want to forge a fake I don't want to forge a fake ingenuine one with you. I haven't done ish to you. So how I got included in your mess and hit in the crossfire, I don't know. If you wanted me to hate our mom for the rest of my life, it isn't going to happen. Forgiveness is paramount. Moving forward is necessary. We only get one mom. Girl, shut up. Bashing her in the media moves us forward. It's easy for you to say that when your mama raised you and she threw me over to my grandmama. They say, girl, they think that had to do with some colorism stuff. It gives you public sympathy and support. And then what? Exactly. Birthdays, holidays, etc., being missed because you want to be in the media acting goofy. You call me when you're ready to be real and own up to the ish Takari has done, not Jackie, Takari. Until then, please don't speak about me. Now, I was confused because I was like, girl, where is this coming from? And where was this posted? And so, also, when she put up that when she was hiding behind a wall, when she was hiding behind a wall like this, sorry, when she was hiding, but they put the M word. Takari now threatens to take her to court. I made a general statement highlighting the fact that all three of us have had our bad feelings about her, whatever those feelings may be. Nobody mentioned you by name, nor do I care to speak on your experience. You wrote a whole book about it. Now, here you are with a screenshot from 2017 with no context. So
This is wicked. Okay. I had to gather my daughter. She just decided on the time that I'm going to go live, right? To have a meltdown. So she is outside at the park with her father. Okay. We are going to get ready for a mermaid royal ball at the aquarium, guys. So please continue to pray for the Sippers family, okay? And because she's acting like she doesn't even want to go. We're gonna go over to Facebook, okay? Because I'm not even seeing what I'm looking for. What? For what? Bye. Go outside, guys. Thank you. That is very rude and inconsiderate of y'all to even do any of that while I'm on live in here. So I've seen a lot of tea on Facebook, right?
I need to clear my
I'm gonna say
name.
this.
Please say it.
I
and
love
record
you.
it while you
I
at
ain't
it.
recording
So
nothing.
you can
I
run it
look
back
to
to
see-
dad
Look,
and
stop.
continue to lie to them and tell them that what
my
happened
God.
didn't happen.
Shanny.
So that when they see this, they see you for the violence.
All right. This is the infamous clip, right? I was saving this for the end. So I'm going to be wrapping this up in about 15 minutes. So we might as well get to this stuff. But we're going to save that for closer to the end. Let me look at what is relevant to the situation or however have you, okay? So anyway, okay, I was saying Jackie Christie and her daughter's relationship has played out on TV, in interviews, in books since like 2000 and what 9, 10. Okay, because before we even really were introduced to the daughters of Jackie Christie, us as fans, right? It was displayed, it was like tea on, okay, the women were coming together on the show to kind of bully Jackie Christie and also make it a storyline for Jackie Christie, right? Okay. So, yeah, like I was saying before, the daughter Takari that, we heard a lot in the interview. If you're a fan, then you know a lot about how she feels, why she feels that way. The things that she's expressed, being evicted, Jackie Christie not aiding, her being a grandmother way before she was a grandmother to Chantel's children, right? I believe Takari had kids first. And, just not caring about the fact that she okay, it looks like my live just came back up. Let me check it and see. Testing. Okay, it did. Okay, good. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties, guys. Thanks for being with me on this Friday. I'm only going to be like maybe 15 more minutes because we got to get ready to go to a Royale Ball engagement for my employment. I am a nurse for disabled children. And so that's what I do. We got tickets to go to the aquarium where we are going to have a mermaid royale ball for our disabled special needs kids. Okay, so uh, let me get back to sharing my screen. And while all my stuff is loading, I hope you guys can hear me. Thank you so much for sipping tea with Tanisha Talksies today. Okay, anyway, as my computer is catching up to my work, I work really fast. However, so we learned, right, in a lot of interviews, there's books, there's interviews. Okay, I think my screen is up. Let's see if we can share it. As we just heard, right, with her, with Jason Lee, with Hollywood Unlocked in 2016, she spoke about going through homelessness. She spoke about going through, areas in her life where her relationship with her children's father. I believe she said she has one with one guy, 4 kids, sorry, with one guy at that time in 2016. She had 4. I don't, why is it my screen sharing? Worthy in the areas of her mother. My whole system just shut completely down. I don't know what the hell just happened, but I think I'm still live. Let me see. Okay, it looks like my whole system just shut completely down. Okay, I'm still live. Okay, wonderful. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'm having technical difficulties on the set today. My daughter's having a meltdown. Her dad just took her outside before we need to get them together for this Royal Mermaid ball at the aquarium. I'm battling a cough. Life is laughing with us all, right? So, as we were talking about Takari, right? The daughter of Jackie Christie, Basketball Wives star, okay? On the 12th season, you know, I don't think that Takari was brought up actually, but however, um, just backstory of her with her daughters was brought into the set of the show, and the contention that it holds between all of them and whatever however have you. Okay, so I don't know why my screen share is not working. I am so upset about this situation right now. So anyway, as reality news reports, Basketball Wives Chantel Christie not ashamed after physical fight. Okay, season 12 has a football. Jackie told that the LA franchise has been working through the issues in her relationship with her dad for the time for Chantel Christie. Wrote at all if it were not for her mother and her father Doug. Okay, Chantel would not have had. There's my stream. Okay, she would not have had the life that she lives as a basketball former wife, and also I think she's now currently married to a basketball star again. Okay. So, I don't see her having a life inside the basketball world with regular people like me and you. We don't just meet basketball stars every day walking down the street in the grocery store or anywhere, right? We got to go to a game or something they're attending to meet a basketball star, right? She had that reach and that grasp because of Jackie being her mother, right? So she was able to have access to the influence of the life of that, a basketball star. Okay. Um, she has spent the entire season working through their issues. They're both full-time cast members this season. Chantel Christie just got introduced to the show this season, okay? And we wonder why that is, right? Well, we really know, right? Because she's continuing Y'all, I have no idea why my system keeps shutting down. I don't know what's going on. I am just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm restoring it now. I'm actually going to give it a few minutes to reboot without touching it, okay? Okay, it looks like give it a few minutes to reboot. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to let it do exactly whatever it needs to do. Okay. I think this has been going on. I've been seeing other live streamers going through this. So please, 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 sippers, thank you guys so very much. Can you please find it in your teacups to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel? I'm on all social medias. We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Twitch and we're on Kick. Wherever you're streaming Tanisha Talks Teas, please like, follow, and subscribe. So, as I was saying, Chantel Christie wouldn't even have the access and the influence to even have an an end to be on Basketball Wives if it not had been for Jackie Christie, right? Her mother, her father, Doug Christie, right? A professional basketball player, now a coach for a professional basketball team. So it just was awkward for a lot of us. We understand that there may have been, because we were not there, so we cannot, completely judge or make assumptions about what was really done, about how they grew up, right? A lot of us, however, you see what I'm saying, were so much far less privileged than Jackie Christie. Than Chantel Christie and Takari. Some of us didn't even have grandmothers that would step in and assist us with the proper care, love, and nourishment that maybe our mothers were not giving us at the moment because they were so wrapped up in their own lifestyles. A lot of us just did not have that influence, right? So, I mean, as unfortunate as it is, for any child to experience, abandonment, betrayals, lies, hurt, deceit, sexual assault, batteries on us as children, unfortunately, it does happen in our lives. So, the best thing that I say we all need to do is protect our own, protect our innocent, right? And get help, seek help. If you're being abused, tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? If something's happening to you where it's not right, I'm not talking about a spanking. However, like these kids do today, right? They'll kill you over a cell phone. You see what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with letting somebody know. So moving forward, I'm not saying that Chantel is completely wrong in her whole entirety of how she feels about her relationship with her mother. But to bring it to her place of business, this is Jackie Christie's job, right? It also helps put food on their tables and support to go around in their family, right? So it's like you don't shit where you eat at. And that's exactly what Chantel has done. Even when Takari was introduced to the Basketball Wives franchise for some time that she's been on one of the seasons, remember? She was not as cantankerous, nowhere near as Chantel. And we, hear her tell that Jackie treats Takari a lot less, than she does Chantel. Chantel seems to be the one that gets all of the privileged, luxurious lifestyle that Jackie Christie seemingly enjoys as a basketball wife as well, right? Unfortunately, Takari represents the family as not being as forthcoming to support her because she's not, considered as beautiful as them or well endowed as them or as smart as them or as attractive as them. She wasn't introduced to anyone, that may have been a game changer relationship wise for her life. She's married, I believe, to a regular smuggler, 9-to-5 worker that, is a very average, everyday comer and goer, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you see it's like the Cinderella story, right? It's when you see everybody else around you like, oh my God, I want a Prince Charming as well. But you're considered the ugly duckling or, the redheaded stepchild. You are left with whatever's left, outside of that for your life to be. And I understand how she feels, but her part on the show was not nowhere as near as cantankerous as Chantel's was, right? I mean, that was pretty crazy. So, um, things between the mom and daughter went all the way left. They got into a physical altercation on the camera. Now we're going to jump into Chantel. We did a little piece on Takari. Let's get into Chantel. Okay. Yes, Basketball Wives has a mom and daughter putting their hands on each other. It took 12 seasons to get this low. Chantel is opening up about the unbelievable moment. Okay. So, Chantel says at VH1, that's the end of it. No one wins when the family feuds. As Jackie and Chantel reach their breaking point, can they come back from this? VH1 says. So Jackie accusing her mother of being emotionally unavailable, among a laundry list of other accusations. They've been addressing their issues throughout season 12. Like, we heard a lot of it. Chantel kept bringing up. I mean, honestly, from my point of view of watching, being a longtime fan, particularly of Jackie Christie, I don't see so much where Jackie Christie has necessarily committed child neglect or abandonment on her children. Okay, we know what that really looks like, as Jason Lee was describing why his mother gave him away, and a seemingly somewhat the best, however it would look for a very serious drug addict to take care of a child did with his other sibling. Sexually molested. They were going through a whole lot of different things that involves, and so I don't think that Shawnee would allow Jackie Christie to be a part of Basketball Wives if that was deemed to be factual about Jackie Christie. However, Takari does say that Chantel played house with her when they were young, and just like the Krishan Rock and Taseki story, I guess she says that Chantel fondled her, did some, sexual activities with her when they were both young girls. Okay. That's still not actual abuse. And if from like the parents' perspective, if nobody knew about it until now, what would you want your mom to do about it? She didn't know about it, apparently, that we know of, right? But things really reached a tipping point during the cast trip to Hawaii, right? The mother-daughter went to Jackie's room to try to hash things out, but a verbal altercation ensued after, a night of just conversation after conversation. Jackie always at every event, and I don't blame her for this. I do not have to have my storyline be exactly how every little aspect of the detail of my past played out in my life, especially raising my children. My children are raised, and that is what that is. Okay, Jackie's role on the show is because she's a basketball wife. Yes, that can include details of however she is as a mother, which they've tried to, bring into the fold for Jackie Christie and her family. But it only seems to work out for Dougie Jr., right? Their son, and how well he's doing. Okay, we never heard anything contentious come from Dougie Jr. It's only been the daughters, which is why, we're looking at the situation like, are they trying to ruin Basketball Wives? And seemingly so, was Jackie a little stricter and harder on her daughters when they were younger, because it's may have been that every time Jackie Christie turned around, they were either maybe out of line, out of pocket, you know what I mean? As children, not listening. Y'all, please act like y'all don't relate, because I know I do. Okay, or where when, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to keep your children in a conducted order, or orderly fashion, however have you, they do, not always conform as you wish they would, while ever you're having a business meeting or a dinner with family and friends, or out in the public, or something of the sort, like maybe the Kardashian and Kanye West daughter, North. We've all heard horror stories about how badly she can perform in public for the paparazzi and the news. Okay? She's not like Beyonce's daughter. That's why she's not on stages like Beyonce's daughter is. She's not really being such a good girl now, is she? Okay, so maybe that we don't know. And the fact that Jackie Christie has kept it something she wants to keep intimate and personable between her family, that's what that is. Okay. However, the clip is going viral on social media. Chantel shared her thoughts about it in an Instagram story on July 23rd. According to her, she's proud of how she's handled stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see how, from Chantel's point of view, Chantel could very well have taken this to another space and place with her mother and, try to understand the underlying reasons of why she now wants to really ruin her mother's life, because that's all I seen happen on the show. Chantel had no other storyline except for Jackie Christie and the contentious relationship that they share together. That is the only thing we saw. Okay? Now I let my screen rest a little bit. Now I'm going to try to share it again. That's the only thing that we saw. And my computer shuts down. Why is it every time I try to stream reality thingy, my computer shuts off? This is crazy. So I'm just going to read it, girl, because I got to get. Once again, my computer shut off when I went to share it, y'all. I'm just going to keep reading it, okay? So thank you guys all for being here. Remember, like and subscribe when you get your teacup filled up. We're talking about Jackie Christie and the contentious relationship with her daughter that's played out on the set of Basketball Wives. That could be the end of both of their careers with Basketball Wives. You just never really know. Okay, so I hope not for Miss Jackie Christie, because I don't think she deserves it. Honestly, I don't think that, Shawnee, is looking at this as a reason to want to not have her storyline outside of her daughters and her relationship. Okay. So Chantel goes on to say, like, I'll start by saying if you've never dealt with a toxic mother, then you truly have no idea what it feels like. As painful as it's been to watch these moments of my life play out on TV, I know my younger self is proud of the woman who finally stood up for herself. Chantel wrote, the truth is the dynamic isn't rare. It happens in more families than we'd like to admit. Yeah, and not for nothing, Miss Chantel. I think you would get the same reaction from any mother if you've done what you did to Jackie on TV. I think you would get the same reaction from any mother anywhere in the world. So anyway, in the episode, it did seem like Chantel pushed her mom. Oh my God, I think she pushed Jackie. However, Chantel claims that her mom touched her arm, which is exactly what sparked the physical fight. The power of the mother's touch. She did, right? She did touch her to like, in a sense of like walking past her, and her arm just went up like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like she touched her. She didn't like nudge her. She didn't push her. She touched her. You know, you walk past somebody like, hi. You know, you like touch their shoulder or sleeve. That's all she did. She did not push her, nudge her, nothing. She didn't even pinch her. She touched my arm. I pushed her off of me. She swung, plain and simple. Chantel continued. It's unfortunate things played out this way, and I wish it never happened. But if you knew our history, then you know this was a long time coming. I may not be proud of all my choices this season, but I'm also not ashamed, Chantel added. This is my real life, and I doubt anyone judging me lives a perfect one. I mean, considering Chantel lived a very perfect life, considering, comparing to a lot of our regular smuggler lives. Like I said, she's had access and influence because of her mother and father and who they are in the basketball world, right? So according to Chantel, the Jackie that we see on TV is a different person from the mother who raised her. But Chantel's in her 30s now. She's far cry from being raised, right? Either you're going to raise up and swing your shirt around your head like a helicopter and live, you know what I'm saying, in your own existence and your own walk and talk, or you're going to live in an existence where you only exist through the pain that you won't let, heal or whatever, and continue to let that resonate in you, to who knows how the fuck you might be as a mother, okay? Because you have that in you that you refuse to, deal with. And you're looking for it in Jackie, and she's like, listen, not this way. However you want to deal with it, it's not happening on the set of my show that has been my career for 12 seasons. Okay? She said her mom is demonstrating a master class in narcissism by stirring the pot behind the scenes and then making Chantel look like the aggressor. Even if behind the scenes, Jackie is expressing to Chantel to stop the madness on set, so what? You cannot go to your mom's job and start tripping. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be a fucking problem in y'all's family dynamic, period. And if you push your mom over the brink, especially Black mothers and a lot of other mothers as well, they will take to you in any place they feel they need to put you back in a child's. Now, you may even be a grown person, but back into their child's place, okay? Wherever you are, it happens. So it's like, have a level of respect for your mother. Okay, I got to take this call, guys. 1 second. Of course, they're calling me. So she needs to call my husband. Okay. For her, let me text her to text me because I'm very busy. Where is she? Okay, she can text me. That's my son's teacher. Yeah, okay. So it happens, right? I know it really happened on and off camera all season long. So no, the internet cannot bully me into submission. We're not trying to bully you. All we're saying is you should have a better level of respect for your mother. If especially you're entering into her realm. If you really don't got it for your mother, why are you even on Basketball Wives? And treating your mother as if she's some cantankerous cancer that came onto your show and is bothering you. You're at your mother's job, not the other way of fucking round. And I hear tell she ain't even gonna be on the show no more. Nonetheless, y'all know the TV character. I know the mother, Chantel added. To those of you who've met me with threats, vile statements, and extreme judgment, may you never understand my plight. Celebrating my darkest moments says more about you than it ever will about me. We don't really know your darkest moments, and we really don't even need to. I know I don't even care to know, some of my favorite television personalities in the darkest ways. Why? That makes them unlikable. That makes them reachable. All of that. So not for nothing, I've got to get ready. We've got to go to a Royal Mermaid ball, y'all. So I'm going to now watch the clip. We've all seen it, but of course I got to watch the clip with the sippers. Okay, for Jackie. Jermaine, call his teacher back. She just called. I told her to text me. I'm almost done, but she called. I
Please say, if you don't get, you look as a mother.
Okay, all she did was graze past her with like an arm behind the back. And then she pushed her mom. She pushed her. Our children today feel as if, especially when you are grown, that if you try to leverage our grandchildren, yes, we may be hurt. We love our grandchildren. But if you try to use them as leverage or pawns in the relationship that you have with us to gain something out of it to suit yourself, a lot of us are not going to play the game with you. We're just not. We're going to let you play the game and win a dumbass prize, which is no support that you need in your life, raising your children with the loving care of a real grandmother. And that's just going to be the unfortunate fate for you and your children. Stop using grandchildren as a reason why you're not getting your way with your parents to make them adhere to whatever demands you think you have over them. Because grandparents today are not playing it. If you got a parent that's willing to be the best grandparent they can be and support and love and heal and hover and protect and secure with you, you need to do whatever you also need to do on your part to maintain that atmosphere for you, your kids, and everybody else. It's not just our responsibility to do that, especially if you are tripping. Okay? So her to try to you really, and you know what I got at home that you want so bad. These grandchildren, I bet you wish you thought you didn't do that shit. Like, no, I meant every single action I did. every single word and every single moment I moved on your ass when you got in my face and tried to treat me like I was a stranger that you had absolutely no regard for. I treated you I responded exactly how I felt I needed to. Let's keep it moving.
Hands I'm going in my room. Call dad. Get him on the line, Jackie.
And then why are you trying to act as if calling Dougie Christie would be a big revelation in the event that just happened? I don't doubt that moments like this have not occurred already between Jackie and Chantel. And I think Doug is probably used to it. But what we do know for a motherfucking fact is that every single year, Doug Christie's going to renew his vows with Jackie Christie at a very nice, expensive wedding renewal. No matter what the fuck ever is going on in their life, in their relationship, in their marriage, with their children and grandchildren, he never fails to renew his vows with his undying love to Jackie. I don't see him leaving Jackie for the kids, way that they seem to want to try to come in between them. I don't see it happening. So what you call him? And then I don't understand why all of the other basketball wives are looking so fucking surprised. Y'all know Jackie. If one of y'all push Jackie, she'll hit you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why are y'all trying to act like that's so surprising that she hit Chantel? That's her child. That should know better than to put her hands on her mama. Okay? Punch your mom, hit your mama, push your mama right now. Push her. And see, don't she knock you the fuck out? So I don't see why like all the other basketball wives were so stunned, but whatever. Why do she gotta be a monster, Ming Lee? If your daughter, you have a daughter, grows up and pushes you and you feel threatened, are you not going to defend yourself? I know I am. These kids are killing their parents today. We were never raised to raise a finger to our parents when we were kids. Now, I don't know how Ming Lee was raised, but Ming Lee has an Asian descent in her. And we know Asian mamas don't play neither. So let's keep it moving.
It was.
Okay.
You ain't going to do shit, nigga.
That's that, right? For the basketball wives. We're gonna wrap this up by saying respect is due anybody, right? Especially your parents. I know people that have crack addicted heroin parents that they love and they cherish and they don't want a hair on their heads harmed. Okay? So for, us to be out here so entitled, so bratty, so overly richly lazy and privileged and everything else that's going on, we need to check ourselves. Okay, we need to go all the way back to the drawing board with where we are and how we're treating each other as family members. If you got a family member, now, I'm not going to speak for Mr. Kari. I don't, know wholeheartedly. Jackie has not given her side completely about whether or not what all Takari says is true. I want to pray that it isn't true, Jackie. If so, we don't live forever. So you need to make amends with her kids and be a part of their lives. That is your blood lineage. You don't want that out in the world, with a piece of a part of you that is as strong and empowered and motivating and moving and capturing as you are in life, to not be a part of their life. Moving on. Okay, we need to love each other better, do better, treat each other better. Okay, I gotta go, tea sippers. Y'all drop down in that chat and tell me what y'all think about Jackie being wrong or right, Chantel Christie being wrong or right. And where do you think Miss Takari is these days? I hear she had chimed into the group chat saying things like Chantel was actually assaulting her and everything like that. You know, we'll come back and talk more on it at a later day. This has been our Tea Talk time on the topic of Jackie Christie and her daughters. Do you think they are intentionally trying to ruin her career on Basketball Wives? And do you think it'll work? Thanks for sipping tea with Tanisha. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay sipping.